Very good afternoon to all of you. So I'm Simon. Good afternoon. So I represent a company called Fyule, and I'll just run you through my journey and how I went through it. So what I'm going to focus on is 3 P's today that will help teachers deal with the generation alpha better. So I don't have a B.Ed degree, but I do have a bachelor's in Gen Alpha. I've been teaching Sophie and Ria for the last 13 years. And what I've learned is my experiences with them in the pandemic, where I realized that this generation is very different. They've got lower attention spans, get easily distracted. Their methods of learning is very different. So I come from the traditional engineering. I did my MBA, then I ran an ad agency for a decade. As I was watching them learn, I realized that the world has evolved so fast. My mom was an English teacher, my grandmother was a teacher, my mother-in-law was a principal and a teacher. So it's like everything to do with teaching is how I grew up. And I realized that my mom would say, sit and study, I would sit and study. Whereas with my daughter, if I say sit and study, she'll ask me, what's the point of studying this? Alexa already knows the answers. So that's how the world has evolved. So I'm going to play a video. How many of you know what Skibidi toilet is? Anyone in the audience who knows what Skibidi toilet is? Okay, so I'm going to play a video. It's a little bizarre, but just watch it because this is what my grade 8 child and her friends watch in class when their teacher is not there. Follow. Sorry, there's some other sound playing. Karthik, there's some background sound. So anyway, till they fix the tech. So Skibidi toilet is a meme. It's extremely popular in kids from the age group 11 to 15. And they watch it in loop. It's almost the 90th video. And what I realized is unless we sort it. So what I realized is unless we as teachers step into their world and understand what they do, it becomes very difficult for teachers to work with children. So their world is videos and video games. And I'm going to talk about 3 things which will help teachers deal with the generation alpha better. So the first thing is personalization. So we've been brought up in a world of personalization now. So YouTube gives us what we like. On Swiggy, Zomato, we can order what we like. And in the school, it's unfortunately still the same, that every kid, irrespective of interest or ability, is asked to do the same set of things. And all 40 kids effectively do the same thing. So what we ended up creating, because I come from a very different background, so we ended up creating a AI-powered platform where we take the child's interest, which is, for example, cricket, football, Lego. We take the teacher's lesson plan. In this particular case, it is teaching adjectives. That's what the teacher is doing. So therefore, the child has an option, which is student voice and choice. So therefore, in this particular case, the child has chosen a cricket commentary clip. So on our platform, the audio is muted. And because the lesson is on adjectives, the child will say, and Virat Kohli has hit a magnificent shot. So what happens is the application of adjectives in what the teacher's lesson plan is on adjectives. So therefore, it's like a win-win scenario that the teacher's learning outcomes are met and the child is having a lot of fun. So any one of us who is into learning, even as an adult, whatever you are interested in, you take a lot of interest and you learn faster. And that's what we've done. So no child is actually going home and saying, yeah, I want to do homework today. That's not what a child is looking at. And we've kind of made that experience interesting. And the second aspect, what you see is homework and revision games. So what we've done is we've picked the worksheet of a school, whatever textbook you're following, we've picked that, put it into our system. And then there is a flavor, which is cricket, football, Lego, which is added. So the same questions that a teacher would be asking them in a formative assessment or a periodic test or a subjective assessment for that matter, that we've gamified. Now, why does personalized learning help? So this is the 2 Sigma problem by Blooms, and Sal Khan of Khan Academy talks about it in his TED Talk, where he says that if there is one-on-one tutoring available for a child, the overall performance from baseline is 98% higher. So through our platform, that's what we've been focusing on, which is to make learning personalized for the child, and not every parent will be able to teach the child at home. So I'll come to the next P, which is project-based learning through video creation. So here what we've added is a twist to the traditional project-based learning. It's video creation. And it comes from my background of having made television commercials and films for a decade. So I realized that making a video, while it seems trivial for a lot of people, what it does is that it tests all faculties of a child. So they have to write a script, they have to memorize what the script is all about, they have to then break it down into shots, that what will be the first shot, second shot, third shot. So critical thinking is coming in, creativity is coming in, and most importantly, when they make a video, they communicate their idea effectively. So therefore, it's nothing but 21st century skills with the morning panel talked about. So I'm going to play a video of subject enrichment activities, art integrated activities which happen in school through project-based learning.
Sphinx, as you can see, has a face of a human.
When a honeybee sits on a flower for collecting nectar,
This was the chemical reaction between vinegar and baking soda.
a lithosphere forms the outer layer of Earth.
Voila! Our delicious, fruitilicious berry blast is ready!
So I'm going to show you a couple of art integrated videos as well, and it starts with something which Mumbai loves as a city.
Hey, children, get ready! We will go to Nicky Platter! What is this about you? I like vitamins and minerals! Okay, go! Do you have vitamins and minerals? Get go! What is this about you? I am boosted! Okay, go!
So children basically express themselves, and the same traditional chart paper assignment which they copy from the book, etc., becomes far more engaging. And at least what I can say from experience is that with my children, I have seen if anything is real, relevant to them, then they actually take interest and do. Anything which is too bookish, they just want to copy. My younger one copies everything in bus and ensures that the assignments are all done before she enters school. So that's how this generation will think. So in a school, we do a simple setup called the video lab. Now the video lab is a collaborative, fertile space for the children to enjoy, work together in groups, and the end result is a lot of madness in school, but also a lot of learning.
Let's use this. Very interesting for us. Let's do it.
So the kids are actually working on a Doraemon clip. So they have to watch a clip which doesn't have any sound. Then they have to write, they have to kind of analyze, so it's no rote learning. They have to kind of think it through, that what this scene is all about, write a script. Then they have to pair up because every kid wants to do it. So then they have to decide this kid is going to be Doraemon, this kid is going to be Nobita, and they have a lot of fun. The end result is that English is going to get better if they keep doing these clips. So now students obviously love video projects, but why does it make sense for a school? So I'll just put it out for the audience if anyone wants to give it a shot. So students obviously it's no-brainer that they are enjoying it. Why does it make sense for a school? Yeah, so it makes learning visible. What else? I wish all principals, management thought the same, but that's not how the education system right now is, because fun, when I used to go initially 3 years back, the answer would be, "Ye sab to masti, sab theek hai, padhai kab hogi?" That's how the talk used to be. Okay, since we are running on a short time, I'm going to kind of reveal what happens. So creation is what happens in the video lab, and creation is the highest form of learning. All of us know that, and that's why the video lab makes a lot of sense in schools. Now I'll come to the last P, which is play-based learning. Now this comes from my own personal experience with my younger one, Ria. This is exactly her face when you ask her to do homework after school. She won't change her clothes, wants to watch TV. And at that point, if you tell her in the evening that let's do homework, that's the last thing that she'll do. She's a good student. She loves going to school, gets great grades in maths and science, etc. Hindi is her Achilles heel. She doesn't like Hindi. The irony is my mother-in-law is a Hindi teacher and a principal for 35 years, stays with us, and that's the report card, 2.5 marks out of 40. My mother is an English teacher, so both of them took my session कि आप कुछ पढ़ाते नहीं हो, आप घर पे नहीं होते हो. That is why all this is happening. So I did my part. I said on when my Zoom calls are going on, you play Duolingo with me and Hindi. She got 23 marks, passed her exams, and that led me to create the second aspect, which is play-based learning. So of late, what I've been doing is gamifying the exact worksheet. So she goes to an ICSE school. I take her worksheets, gamify it for her, and she's able to complete homework. Now this, for example, is how we work. So now this is Ria, grade 2. She loves Peppa Pig, Frozen, drawing, dinosaur, peekaboo, pizza, zoo, pink. These are the things which she likes. So just like a scrapbook, we collect information that Ria likes. Now the game is personalized to her. So it has her name. So that itself is personalization right at the start. Now she gets a poem which is customized to her, which is I am a dinosaur, big and strong. Here's my tail and here's my song. Just like I am a teapot, short and stout. So that's how this rhyme is all about. Now from a child's perspective, this is interesting, colorful, all of those things. More importantly, it ticks off NCERT's learning outcomes. So it's not very clear on the screen, but what it says is a grade 2 child should be able to sing a song, rhyme with action. So that is what is the learning outcome which is being covered. Now from a child's perspective, this is what happens. The child gets a Dino Stomper badge, gets coins, knowledge points, etc. So the homework which has 20 questions no longer seems onerous for a child, because then suddenly it's one question at a time, you are being encouraged, etc. What's more, this is adaptive in nature. So let's say Ria is not able to do this, it will get further simplified. And let's say Ria actually is very smart and is doing it very fast, then the level will automatically go up. So it's adaptive in nature. So I'll come to another example and then close my talk for the day. So this is reading comprehension. So she loves Peppa Pig. Within Peppa Pig, there is a dinosaur hunt. So all this is AI generated based on the lesson plans of the school. So this is again reading comprehension. Now when it comes to higher grades, our focus is on competency-based education. So that's where there's a lot of emphasis in higher grades. So if you take a look at it, this is grade 6, Sukriti, she likes cricket. Now this question becomes competency-based. So now the question here, the topic is kinetic energy, potential energy, force, displacement, work done. So that's the topic. And she gets a question like this, which is, I have no legs, but I run fast over fields with energy that doesn't last. Who am I? Any guesses what the answer could be? Sorry? The ball. So that's the answer. So the child is kind of getting there. It's a ball. Then we move to a googly question. Again, this is linked to physics. So if a cricketer runs from one wicket to another and returns to the starting point, what's the displacement? 0. So this makes them think, and then it's obviously mixed with a lot of things. So I've just put a couple so that you get a flavor of what we do. Please do come down to our stall. Now, from a overall perspective, the child has a lot of fun gamifying. For school, why does it make sense to gamify your existing worksheets? Anyone in the audience, why it makes sense for the school? The game word itself attracts the kids, yes. So therefore, they are taking more interest in learning. What else? From a principal standpoint, so it's experiential in nature. Yeah. True. And I've seen that happen with both my children for that matter. Anything else from a... So if they are having fun, then the learning becomes permanent. Awesome. There's one point which from a principal standpoint, there's one thing which everyone's missing, that why does it make sense from a principal standpoint? What your traditional tests may or may not be able to do, but what a gamified test can do. Concept clarity cannot analyze results for you. Yeah. So that's one thing which gamification does. So when I started experimenting with my daughter, it became very clear that 3-digit into 3-digit multiplication she doesn't know. So then I can do lessons on 3-digit multiplication. So what we can do for a school, at a class level, I can give you data that 80% of your class does not understand abstract nouns, and therefore the teacher, English teacher, has to do a remedial on that particular topic instead of trying to revise everything. Similarly, if in a parent-teacher meeting you want to sit, so I went to the parent-teacher meeting since Ria scored only 2.5. She said, "वो पढ़ती नहीं है, रोज पढ़ेगी तो सब ठीक हो जाएगा." Then when she started doing Duolingo, I realized that she can't read. That is the issue. पढ़ना तो दूर की बात है. So once she started on Duolingo for a month, it was just doing 2-letter word, 1-letter word, alphabet, etc. And that makes it engaging from a child's perspective. So in a school PTM, the teacher can just pull it out and give the data and the parent can access it. So I'll come to the last part, how is the Fyule used in school? So we've got classroom engagement, so which means that when you do set induction, introduce a topic, you can actually gamify it. So you start with a game, the children, you can do it on your smartboard, you can do it on tabs. So the children will answer questions and the teacher, instead of saying this is an adjective, can make the children play what is a game about adjectives and you get the class started. It can be used in a summary, so therefore it boosts engagement. Second is collaborative video projects, what you saw in the video lab. The third is play-based assessments in the computer lab. So that's something which can be done. And then at home, there is homework, revision, and individual projects. So this is how our bundle looks like. So we've got workbooks which are project-based learning through video creation. There's a software and there's a hardware. We bundle it together and a lot of schools either put it as part of their book lists or they introduce it as a head. So now coming to the last part, which is the teachers, and that's what this gathering is all about. So I'm going to leave you with a video, and here is our approach that we personalize it for a school.
Comes out from the monotony of the normal bookish teaching learning process.
As a teacher, we are enjoying. When we are enjoying, we will make our students to enjoy.
Whatever we teach may not go into the students' mind, but once they have hands-on experience, they will have much knowledge about it.
So I'll end with a quote that there are 3 kinds of people: those who are immovable, those who are movable, and those who move. So we belong to that category where we are trying to make a change in a traditional way of learning. We are trying our best to move. So if all of you in this room believe in what we are doing, please do come down to our stall and join us in this movement to personalize the learning journey of kids. So we work with 100+ schools. Here's my contact if anyone wants to reach out. Thanks for giving me a patient hearing.